So I failed the land nav test the first night out there. And you only get 2 chances. Ooh. And everybody went out the first night, and everybody goes and gets their points. And everybody who passed that first night, that found all their points, got to go back and sleep and eat. And the rest of us got to stay up all night again, and then you got to go right back out. Middle of the night you start, and it's over by early morning. I was studying. All I could think about was my battalion commander, the same one who had threatened me and all that. All I could think about was how embarrassing it would be to go back and look him in the face and be like, I failed land nav. And that's what I was thinking about. So other people were sleeping. Mm-hmm. I was looking at my map. Mm-hmm. Like, how do I read this? How do I do this? What am I doing wrong? And a guy walks up to me. And he wasn't wearing his overshirt, so it was just his undershirt. And I didn't see his name. I don't remember him introducing himself with a name. But everyone was asleep. Mm. Everyone was asleep. Wow. And he showed up out of nowhere. And he walked from the wood line to me. So, I mean, it could have been somebody going to the bathroom and just coming back. But he did not come from where the group was. And he sat down and he's like, hey, what's up, man? And I'm like, dude, I'm a fail. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I know how to read it, but I'm just not able to connect what I know and put it into practical use within this allotted time. No, I'm not proficient enough. I didn't have enough practice. And he's like, hey, man, don't worry about it. He's like, I'm a property surveyor before I joined the military. And he takes my map, and we had these markers. So he takes my map, and he takes these blue markers, and he starts coloring all the water on my map. And then he takes green, and he starts coloring where all the vegetation is. So he's highlighting certain things on my map. And as he's using these markers, it was like revelation. Like, he was teaching me things, one that I had already been taught over a dozen times, to include the day prior receiving a block of instruction from the instructor. It did not click. That light bulb moment did not click. This guy starts coloring on my map, and as soon as he started coloring on my map, it was like everything started to click. And I was like, I can read this. The night before, I was taking my thing and one step at a time with my compass, like trying not to get lost. And
right.
The second night, he's like, you don't even need that. He's like, and he showed me how in an hour time period, it was like all of the knowledge that I had been taught became immediately accessible and able to be implemented in an instant. And then he walked away. He said, and I thanked him. And I said, dude, that's awesome. Thanks. And I never saw him again. He could have quit. He could have got injured at some point when I was somewhere else. So many things could have happened. But when I was writing this book, I was not planning on writing that down. Mm-hmm. And that was one of the stories, because when I asked, during selection, I sprained my ankles, both ankles. When I left selection, you could not see where my calf and my ankle separated. It was halfway up my calf, on both calves, about halfway up, black and blue, all the way down to my toes. I had sprained both feet. I had broken bones in both feet. And I was not willing to quit. And it was a surreal moment. Yeah. Because I feel like I didn't deserve it. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I became able to do it.
Yeah.
And I got selected. And that kind of carried me through. But as I'm writing my book, and I just, like, where were you? I got hurt. Like, what? I sucked at everything. Like, where were you? Why'd you let me go through all this? Like, the Special Forces qualification course, I can't think of a week that went by where I wasn't in pain from something, recovering from some type of injury, from something that we had done out in the woods. Yeah. And he showed me. He's like, remember land nav? How you were failing and having a pity party upstairs and thinking about quitting, and he's like, that was me.